What if I told you that the greatest lie ever told to you was that you are ordinary? What if the anxiety you feel, the restlessness, the quiet ache in your chest wasn't because something is wrong with you, but because something inside you knows there's more? You weren't made to survive the noise. You were made to rise above it. You were born for more. And it's time to remember. You may not recall when you first forgot your brilliance. It didn't happen all at once. It was small moments. The time they laughed at your dreams, the time you were told to be realistic, the time you chose silence over truth. But your soul, it has never forgotten, not once, not ever, because there is a spark inside you that no pain can extinguish. And that spark, it's whispering today, wake up, rise up, remember. Welcome to Inner Empowerment, a place where timeless wisdom gently meets the light within you. If these words resonate with the quiet truth of your heart, then please subscribe to our channel and continue this sacred journey alongside us. Section 1. The Illusion of Smallness. From the time we could walk, we were taught to shrink, to sit still, to speak only when spoken to follow the rules that others wrote for us. We were praised for being quiet, not for being wise. We were rewarded for fitting in, not for standing out. They gave us numbers to chase, grades, salaries, step counts, social metrics, as if the soul could ever be contained in statistics. But the soul cannot be measured, and you, beloved soul, were never meant to be a measurement. You were meant to be a revelation. There is a quiet tragedy in how early we're taught to forget ourselves. We don't even notice it at first. The world tells us what success should look like, and we start molding ourselves to fit that vision. We trade curiosity for caution, joy for judgment, wild dreams for silent routines. Every time you doubted your voice, every time you held back your truth to make others comfortable, a piece of your light folded inward. But that light, it didn't die, it waited, and now it's knocking from within the very walls you built to survive. It's not angry, it's not bitter, it's just whispering, let me out, let me breathe, let me live again. Do not fear this voice. It is not here to destroy what you've built. It's here to liberate you from what you were never meant to carry. You were not made to be small. You were made to be expansive, not to blend in, but to shine, not to perform, but to become. Think back, before the layers. Was there a time when you just knew who you were, before the doubt, before they handed you a version of life that never fit? That child is still within you. The one who danced without shame, who spoke to the moon, who imagined freely and loved without calculation. We weren't taught to nourish that child. We were taught to silence them, taught to trade their wildness for discipline, their joy for efficiency, their magic for logic. But deep within you, that child still breathes, still believes, still waits for the day you stop pretending and simply say, I see you, I remember. And when you say that, everything changes, because what you are returning to is not a fantasy. It is the truth of who you are. You don't need to become anyone else. You need to reclaim who you were before the forgetting. When you live from that place again, from wonder, from authenticity, from power, you don't just heal yourself, you heal your lineage, you shift the world around you, you create new possibilities for others just by being whole. So no, you are not too much, you are not broken, you are not behind, you are simply waking up. And that, beloved soul, is the most powerful act of all. Section 2. The Inner Whisper. There is a voice inside you. It doesn't shout, it doesn't compete. It waits in the stillness. You've heard it before, maybe during a quiet night or just before falling asleep when everything else fades and only truth remains. It doesn't speak in words, it speaks in knowing, a subtle pull in the chest, a sense that there's more to you than what you've been living. Sometimes it sounds like a question. Is this really all I am? Other times it's a gentle ache, like your soul reaching through the fog of everyday life, longing to be seen again. That voice is not your imagination, it is not delusion, it is not weakness. That voice is the most sacred part of you, the part that remembers. It remembers the dreams you've buried, the songs you silenced, the truths you compromised to be accepted. It remembers who you were before the noise told you who to be, and it waits patiently, like a lantern in the dark, saying again and again, you were born for more. Not more noise, not more busyness, not more things, more truth, more meaning, more presence, more soul. That inner whisper is your compass. It does not demand, it does not punish, but when you ignore it long enough, life starts to feel dull, colorless, disconnected. Because when we abandon that whisper, we begin to live someone else's life. And that's when we start asking questions like, why am I so tired? Why does none of this feel like mine? Why does joy feel so far away? It's not because you're lost, it's because you stopped listening, but you can return right now with a single breath, a single choice. And when you do, when you sit with your soul, even in silence, it speaks again, softly, tenderly, but clearly. You are more than your past. You are more than your pain. You are more than your performance. You are the light that has survived it all. That whisper inside of you. It's the original blueprint, the ancient voice of your soul. It's been guiding you through lifetimes, and every time you ignore it, it doesn't disappear. It simply grows quieter until your heart breaks, your body aches, or your life cracks open, and suddenly you need to remember who you are. Don't wait for that breaking. Start listening now. Even if you don't know the next step, trust that the whisper does. It always has. And when you begin to follow it, when you trust that soft voice over the shouting of the world, you begin to live again, not survive. Live. Because the whisper isn't leading you to escape the world, it's leading you to bring your soul into it. You were never meant to hide in silence, you were meant to move in alignment. And it starts by listening right here, right now. Section 3. The shift. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the ache becomes louder than the distractions, when the life that once fit like a glove begins to feel like a cage. That moment isn't weakness, it's not failure, it's awakening. We call it burnout, breakdown, rock bottom, but truthfully, it's breakthrough. Because no one breaks open unless something inside them is ready to expand. The shift begins silently, a tension in the heart, a growing resistance to the roles you've been playing, an inner knowing that the life you're living was never fully yours. Maybe you've looked around and thought, I built this, but why doesn't it feel like home? Or maybe, in the middle of your success, you still felt hollow because the outer victories no longer match your inner truth. This isn't rebellion, it's a return. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. You don't need to burn everything down. You just need to stop building over the voice you've been silencing, because there is a moment so sacred, so terrifying, when your soul rises and says, enough, I'm ready now. Ready to stop apologizing for wanting more. Ready to stop shaping yourself to please others. Ready to stop pretending that numbness is strength. The shift isn't always graceful. It might come with grief. With letting go of titles, relationships, expectations, identities, not because they were wrong, but because they no longer reflect who you're becoming. And yes, it's scary to leave the known for the true, to choose authenticity over comfort, to risk being misunderstood, even by people you love. But that risk, it's the price of liberation. You do not need permission to rise. You do not need proof to be real. You only need willingness. Willingness to say, I choose truth over approval. I choose growth over ease. I choose myself, fully, unapologetically, now. And when you choose yourself like that, the world shifts around you, not immediately, but profoundly. You start to notice that what you attract changes. People who once drained you drift away. New opportunities feel magnetic. Synchronicities multiply. Doors open because your energy no longer matches the old rooms. This is the power of alignment, when the inside and the outside begin to reflect one another. And let me tell you this, with all the love in my heart, you were not made for repetition. You were made for evolution. Your pain was never meant to become your identity. It was meant to awaken your purpose. So don't be afraid of the shift. Don't run from the uneasiness. Lean in, because every time your soul whispers, more is possible. It's telling the truth. The shift is not the end of you. It's the beginning of the real you. Section 4. Ancient power within you. You are not weak. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are remembering. And what you are remembering is not something new. It is something ancient, something eternal. Because the truth is, you are not just a body, not just a name, or a role, or a timeline. You are a soul, vast, timeless, and your soul carries memories older than this world. You've walked through lifetimes, felt the rise and fall of empires, stood in sacred temples, sung in forgotten tongues, loved with a heart older than your mind can comprehend. And still, here you are, in this lifetime, in this moment, with a purpose that pulses like a current just beneath the surface of your skin. You are not here by coincidence. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are the continuation of a cosmic design, a thread of light woven into the tapestry of divine intelligence. That's why you feel so deeply. That's why you've always known there was something more, because your soul remembers what your mind forgot. The dreams that stir in you, they're not fantasies, they're reminders of the truth you've carried through ages. You don't need to be enlightened, you don't need to be a master, you simply need to listen to what's already alive in you. That aching for truth, that craving for meaning, that pull toward beauty, mystery, creation. It's not random, it's sacred, it's encoded in your soul. You are not starting from nothing, you are awakening from slumber. And the power within you, it doesn't shout, it doesn't compete, it radiates, it speaks in moments of intuition, in sparks of inspiration, in silent strength that doesn't need validation. This power, your true self, is rooted in love, wisdom, and presence. And the more you connect with it, the more you realize there is nothing missing in you, only parts waiting to be remembered. You were not meant to be molded. You were meant to unfold, to peel back the layers of programming and find beneath them the radiant truth that you are enough, that you are eternal, that you are sacred. Your ancestors walk with you, your inner guides whisper beside you, and the universe is conspiring to help you remember your strength. You are the result of thousands of prayers, of choices made in love, of battles survived in silence. So don't be afraid of your power. Don't apologize for your presence. Don't minimize your light to comfort the darkness. You are not just part of the divine. You are the divine, experiencing itself through you. So stand tall, not with ego, but with remembrance. Because the moment you stop pretending to be small is the moment your soul begins to truly breathe. Section 5. The Invitation. So here you are, right here, right now. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by soul design. Because there comes a moment when the remembering becomes undeniable, when the ache to live fully becomes louder than the fear of change. And if you're hearing this now, you're already standing at the doorway, a threshold between the life that was and the life that's waiting for you to claim it. But this isn't the kind of invitation you receive in your inbox. This one arrives in silence, in stillness, in tears, in those quiet moments when you look at your reflection and whisper, "There's got to be more," and the soul answers, "Yes, there is, and it's you. You are the more you've been waiting for." This is your invitation, not to strive, but to surrender, not to perform, but to remember, not to climb the ladder of someone else's success, but to walk barefoot into the field of your own truth. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to be honest. You just need to begin. Let go of the timeline. Release the weight of who you think you should be by now. The universe has no deadline on transformation, only a pulse, a rhythm, a whisper that says, "Come home. Come home to yourself." And coming home might look messy. It might feel like saying no to things you used to say yes to. It might mean choosing solitude over shallow applause. It might mean disappointing others to stay true to yourself. But none of that means you're wrong. It means you're real. It means you're alive. Today is not just another day. It's a portal, a divine intersection between who you've been and who you're becoming. So breathe in this moment. Feel it. Let your body remember what truth feels like. Let your heart open to the possibility that you are already enough, because you are. There's no outside source of validation that can compare to the deep, eternal knowing that lives in your chest. So rise. Rise not for recognition, but for reclamation. Rise not for power, but for presence. Rise because your story isn't over, because your breath is proof that the divine isn't done with you yet. You were born for more, and the world, this aching, waiting, beautiful world, is desperate for people who remember that. So become that memory, become that voice, become the light that reminds others they are not alone in the dark. Your presence is your permission, your truth is your offering, your love is your legacy. This is your time, this is your return, and I promise you, You've always been worthy of everything your soul dares to dream, because you were born for more, and now you remember.